Okay, my name is Joyce Lam, and I'm the artistic producer of the Vancouver Asian Canadian Theatre, which I call VACT for short, because it's quite a mouthful. Born in Vancouver, right? I remember growing up here, and we were one of the few Chinese families in my elementary school, and it was so hard to fit in. And there was another kid I remember a year younger than me, and we kind of tried to pal up because it was something I could identify with, but I always didn't feel like I belonged there. And then when we moved, we went to another school that was with more of a mix of people, and it was better. But I remember people used to follow us home from school, my sister and I, throw rocks at us. It wasn't easy, and my parents made sure that we studied English because they really wanted us to get ahead in Canada. And we rebelled against Chinese school at the time, which is my one regret in life, because now I lost a lot of the language, but I can still understand Cantonese. So a lot of people, when they're talking about me, I can hear them. But, that's why I think I really wanted to get people to learn their culture, because when you lose the language, you lose a lot of it. And people don't even consider you almost Chinese if you lose the language. And so I wanted to capture the people of my generation, or people who have lost the language, to take pride back in their culture. And the only way I could do it is through English-speaking means. No, man, it was tough. I remember seeing Flower Drum Song as a young girl, and I remember watching Nancy Kwan, but I didn't really relate to Nancy Kwan because I knew she was like half, right? And so I thought she was pretty enough, and I liked her role and stuff, but I didn't relate to her. I remember not seeing a lot of Asian faces on TV, and even on film. Gee, I can't even remember if anybody who... Well, I didn't gravitate towards Bruce Lee either, because I was like anti-martial arts at time in my youth, because everybody was like, all the boys were so into Bruce Lee, and I go, what's so special about Bruce Lee, right? Well, I was talking to my friend one day, and he had seen the comedy troupe from Seattle called OPM, which now has relocated to LA. But they were up in the Fringe doing a show, and he went and saw it. And when he went, he was cringing, thinking, oh, please don't be bad, please don't be bad, please don't be bad. And I was thinking, well, why would you have that connotation? Because, and he goes, well, you know, because people think what Asian people do, it's going to not be professional, right? And so he went, and he said they were great. And he was so surprised how funny they were, and they actually poked fun at being Asian. And he goes, yeah, and this is Seattle. How come we can't do something like that here? So he mentioned it to me. I go, well, yeah, how come we can't do something here? So I said, let me think about it. So we went ahead and did it for Asian Heritage Month, one show. We brought up OPM from Seattle, and we sold out 200 seats, right? And then we thought, there must be a need for this, right? So we did it again, stretched it to 2 nights. We sold out. And we said, okay, let's see if they'll come if we do a play. So as a rite of passage for any Asian organization, we did David Henry Wong's FOB, Fresh Off the Boat. And so we did it for 3 nights, and we made money. And we kept making money. And so, okay, so let's incorporate, and let's be a group of people that just does this. And that's how that came to be. And the people who started VAC were people who believed in building strong Asian Canadians images, and telling about our history, and embracing our culture through English. And we made sure that every story that we told was about experiences in North America, not so much like in other continents. We started to develop like local talent here too, because we thought, you know, why always import from the States or Toronto? So we've done a competition where we think, if you just think you're funny, grab your friends. You know, we give you criteria how to write, we give you consultants to help you if you're stuck, and you stretch your stuff for 10 minutes and you get a chance to win. What we're probably most famous for is our serial plays called Sex in Vancouver. It was like TV. It was based on Sex in the City, and it's about 4 single Asian women and all their boyfriend troubles or girlfriend troubles and all that stuff. And it was probably our most successful series of plays. I think just because people identified with the contemporary nature of it and the soap opera-y feel of the show. We're saying, things will really only change quickly when people of color reach the positions of power. But I'm finding, now when I am in a position of power, and Kevin Lee is in a position of power, and other people who are of color in positions of power, we tend to think the same way as a Caucasian person, and we actually have to stop and say, what are we here for? Because we're thinking, what will sell tickets, or who will watch us? Like, let's make it more marketable, and then we're doing the same thing as what white people do, and it's like really hard then to stop that and do it differently. And the thing is, a lot of times is marginalizing the geeky Asian man, right? But to overcome that, we also then have a really good-looking man, right? But we still have the geeky-looking man. And if you don't understand the satirical outlook of some of the comedy, it almost looks like we're just recreating it. But because we're doing it, right, we're making fun of it. So a lot of times that is lost to the audience. Because you've seen Asian Lifestyles TV?
Yeah.
Okay. It could almost appear a bit racist too, right? But it's not, because people of color are doing it, and we're telling you what we see out there is what we're putting now. So we're trying to empower us by doing a different ending, usually to the sketch or whatever, but it's the same kind of scenario. So that was really difficult for me when I was working with Kevin, to try to keep it more positive and not do what the regular people do all the time, because of you want target audience, you want people to watch, you want like storylines that would empower us but to empower us we have to go to the negative first. But if you do too much of the negative, are you really empowering by the ending, or do you see too much of the negative so it stays negative? And it was just a really hard balance. Most important thing is that we did do it, it did get on TV, and it's a start.